This next 30 minutes is dedicated to Karine Jean-Pierre, the woman who single-handedly protected Kamala Harris all by herself from a random white dude that rushed the stage at her speaking event. You are the real MVP. Yes. It's time for Black Coffee. Good morning, welcome to BET's Black Coffee. I'm Marc Lamont Hill. I'm joined by Gia Peppers and Jameer, the best co-hosts in the world. Woo! And we're also joined by the activist, the brilliant scholar, the METOO founder, Tarana Burke. Show her some love, guys. We got so much in here for you today. We got the sneak peek of the next episode of BBC's Luther with Idris Elba. And we got the, yeah, I'm hating. We got the hashtag Black Coffee. Use it right now and we'll read some of your Facebook and YouTube comments a little later in the show. But before we get into the rest of the show, I gotta first talk about Kamala because she's on stage giving a talk.
Right. Just doing her thing.
Right.
Being a black woman.
Right.
And I just see this random white dude run full speed at her.
Yeah.
What happened?
Until.
Right. Until.
Good sis.
Yes.
We
Right.
always look out for each other.
Oh, yeah.
But I mean, the audacity. The
Yes.
audacity
The
to walk on
caucasity.
stage.
The caucasity, the
To
unmitigated
take the
call.
mic out of her hand and
Did he
nothing
take the mic
happened.
out of her hand?
Yes.
Yeah.
And he walked away and started speaking.
Yeah.
Right.
I didn't realize he took the mic out of her hand.
Yeah.
That's bold.
It's real bold, and Kamala's like, take it. Like, she didn't look
Like,
shook,
yeah.
but she was like, I ain't fighting over this
Yeah,
microphone.
it's not worth it.
yeah.
It's not worth it.
But just help me understand how he made it all the way to the stage, to her, grabbed the mic.
Where's security at?
Where's
Wakanda?
Right.
Where we at?
Exactly.
Wakanda was your girl sitting there next to him.
Exactly. Exactly. Black women got to stand up for each other sometimes.
Yeah.
I mean,
But they shouldn't have to.
No.
I also want to point out if that had been a black man rushing the stage, he'd have got tasered before he made it
Yeah.
to the
He
stage.
still be getting elbow dropped right now. Just get down. That's all
Exactly.
But did you see the picture of that same guy rushing the stage at Bernie Sanders in 2016?
It's the same guy?
The
same
same
guy?
exact guy
Yes.
rushed the stage for Bernie Sanders, and they dragged him. He couldn't even get close.
Yes.
They got him and dragged him off before he got close, and he ran right up on this sister.
Oh my God. There's better ways to do it, especially in a situation like this,
Yeah.
man. But we got to make sure people like Kamala are protected.
Absolutely.
Secret Service, we need y'all. The other thing we need, I'm serious, we need
Yeah,
Secret
yeah.
Service for her.
Fact.
But a lot of people, before we get really into the show, we got to talk about what black coffee is.
Yes.
A lot of people
That should
ask me,
be-
like, why this show? What does it mean? Jameer, you tell us, man, because I heard you say it best outside.
Oh, okay. Well, black coffee is a safe space for black people.
There it
That's
is.
my talking voice in the morning. No, I just think that it's a safe space. We're going to talk about a lot of things: entertainment, politics, sports, relationships, the Me Too movement. So it's a safe space. We want to make sure everybody's comfortable here and watching on the YouTube and the Facebook.
Yeah, and I think it's so important to have spaces like this where black culture can breathe, and we don't have to be anything or do anything to be black. Blackness is not monolithic. We are all black, and so I think a place where we can be ourselves and be free and be seen and affirmed, like we can have those conversations here. It can be chill, and we can talk to legends like Tarana Burke.
That's right.
And that's the point, right? All week we're gonna have legends, celebrities, athletes, artists, newsmakers. We're gonna talk about all sorts of things with all sorts of people. And we get to ask them questions that other people don't ask. You ever like watch TV and you're like, why you ain't ask them this?
That's right.
I wanna ask them this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And now we get that chance.
We had that
And
chance.
We've all been working for a long time, man. So it's super dope to work with you young men. I'm very excited.
Call me a young man. That's right.
Which is a reach. That's a reach. But you made it. I mean, look.
That was hurtful.
Oh,
All right. Tarana, I'm gonna talk to you because you're my sister and you won't be mean to me.
Come on.
I mean, one of the reasons we have you here is to talk about some of these issues that are going on in the news from a black perspective.
Yeah.
The last 2 weeks we've been talking about reproductive justice, the question about abortion or anti-abortion movements,
Yeah.
all this stuff. And a lot of people say, what does this have to do with black people?
Has everything to do with black people. Although it's portrayed in the media as if we disproportionately get abortions, and that's not true, right? Black women are not the largest group of people to get abortions in the country, but so many of us fall into low-income categories and need access to reproductive services, including abortion, not just abortion. But one of the problems is that when they try to do things like shut down Planned Parenthood, it's a sweeping, it's a sweeping thing, and they're doing it to shut down abortion, but we need other access to other parts of their services in Planned Parenthood.
Like
right?
what? What is
So
happening
people
in
need
Planned
pap smears. We need to go and get checked for STDs. We need to go and get birth control, right? So that we don't have to get abortions, right?
Right.
And when they shut down these organizations like Planned Parenthood that do that, they shut all access down. But also, we need access to safe to access to people who can give safe abortions. And abortions are not going to stop by them being banned. And that's what
Right.
people don't really realize. You're not going to stop abortions. You're just going to make them unsafe again.
And that's the scariest part
Yeah.
for me. Like understanding that, people don't have an option anymore.
Yeah.
So now they're causing harm to themselves by doing it not by the book,
Yeah.
not going to a doctor. I'm very scared about that.
Or risking going to jail.
Or risk going to
Right?
jail. Like,
So there are
It's
so
crazy.
many more things that we should be worried about.
Yeah.
And it's like my rights, my body as a woman, as women, we shouldn't have to fight for things that are naturally happening to us. Like if that's the case, then we need to have some control on the other side as well, because we're not doing it to ourselves.
Yeah.
But
they're not gonna like arrest men for not using condoms, right?
Oh, they'll never do that.
Well, let's just
Right.
ban
They'll
all
never
of
do
it.
that.
Like that's so
No.
insane to me. And I have to ask, because as a person who's been in this fight for so long, how do you feel like we got here? Because when I saw the first story break that it was officially, the bills were coming, I felt like I was in 1933.
Oh no,
Like-
no. Let me people should know this. This has been in process for
Right.
a long time.
Right.
Like before Trump.
Way before Trump.
Right.
This is like the finale. They're coming to the finale. I lived in Alabama. I worked in Alabama for over a decade. It was almost impossible to get an abortion before these bans in Alabama.
Wow.
I worked with young girls who had been sexually assaulted, who needed abortion services, or who just got pregnant and didn't want to have the baby. It was almost impossible. There were very few clinics that even performed abortions in Alabama. So that was already the case. But what we're seeing happening it's been in progress for a long time. So once they got Kavanaugh in place and they had the majority in the court and they had a person who was anti-abortion like he was and was gonna, this is about destroying Roe versus Wade.
Yep.
Right.
Right? So if they get these laws are crazy, right? You're talking about a doctor who can get 99 years in jail for performing abortion, a woman who can get a felony. These are like, in our rational mind, sound crazy.
Yes.
But what it does is it forces the ACLU and other organizations like that to challenge it in the court. They challenge it in the court. If it gets past federal, it gets kicked up to the Supreme
that's when
Court,
they win.
and then they can challenge Roe versus Wade.
One of
This
these-
is all a plan.
One of these laws that I saw was the fetal heartbeat law, and it was like basically saying that anything after 6 weeks is now illegal. But a lot of women, most women don't know they're
Don't even
pregnant.
realize
At
they're
6
Right,
pregnant.
right,
I
right.
probably found out at 8 weeks, if that. And it's, reality speaking,
Right.
you miss that first period, you just like, okay, guys.
We gotta
me
talk.
just-
Maybe I'm stressed.
Right, like, oh, you know what it was? I had switched up, and you start
Right.
talking. You're gonna talk to your girlfriends for a smooth 2 weeks after
least.
your first period,
You
right?
might buy the test and then
You
let
might-
it
and
sit
it's
in
the
your
test gonna
bathroom
sit
for
in your
about a week. You're
bathroom.
like,
I did not know.
I'm good.
Not knowing now.
please.
Oh,
I didn't know that neither.
Yeah, I didn't know it.
I thought y'all knew like the day. You know?
Right, yeah.
My body, I'm pregnant.
No, if
Right.
I have a girlfriend who has like 5 kids. She know after the 3rd kid, she's like, I'm pregnant.
Oh, yeah. Like the Wayans mom.
That's not
that. You just know.
Some people know, but no, it's that heartbeat, that is so dangerous because it also just criminalizing sexual activity, really, right? It's just this rush to make everything criminal is so immoral to me, and so many. It's just and it's also disingenuous.
Yes.
Right? Because these are young white girls who are getting abortions, and I'm gonna tell you what's gonna happen when they make public, affordable abortions illegal. They just gonna go to their doctors and their clinics and their private doctors, and these white girls are gonna continue to get abortions. That their families are like, oh, you're 17, Susie. No, you're gonna get an abortion so you can go on to Harvard or whatever. But we get stuck having these children,
And going to jail.
and going to, and not even just going to jail, but they only care about life in that moment of conception in the womb.
Right.
When that girl from whatever low wealth community has that baby, she has no services.
Right.
They want to cut welfare, they want to cut
And it's in the
food stamps.
South where black people are. I mean, that's the other thing. A lot of these
54%.
54%. Right. So
Yes.
this is happening crazy. Let me ask you another question though, because you are known now as the founder of METOO. And I saw you make that face. Why you make that face? Why you make that face?
I don't know, go ahead.
No, that must be a burden.
It's not a burden. I take it as a responsibility for sure. And in relation, like even to this abortion laws, this one of the things that drives me crazy, like in Alabama, that they don't even have an exception for rape and incest. But
That's what I was going to,
yeah, and that's cruel. It really is. It's just cruel, right? That tells you that you really don't respect life. You talking about you're pro-life. What about the life of the person who has to carry this burden, right?
And they're so full of shit anyway, because like, I mean, let's be honest, right?
Be honest.
Because once they don't care about the baby once it's born.
Yeah.
They don't want you to get early childhood education. They don't want you to get prenatal care. They don't
No
want you to get,
opportunity.
they take the welfare away, get rid of the schools. Basically, we only
And
care
fight
about
for the
you.
death penalty.
And fight for the death penalty. So once you're born, you're on your own. Like
They don't want gun laws.
right. They just
want
want you to live to die. Like it's the
Yeah.
craziest thing I've ever heard.
that-
But on the Me Too side of things, I mean, first of all, what's it been like for the last? It's a whirlwind. Obviously, I've known you for
long time.
forever, ever. And like I remember when you were, behind the scenes as an activist, as an organizer, doing all this amazing work,
Yeah.
and then suddenly. 2 years later, you're on the cover of Time magazine. You're at all the parties I can't get into. You know what I'm saying? I'm a little salty. I'm just a little salty, but it's cool. Like, what is it like?
It's crazy. I don't know how to explain how to go from, you know me, I was a behind the scenes kind of person and I actually love being behind the scenes and making things work from back there to having this level of visibility. It's strange. Like on the one hand, it's a blessing. I don't want to diminish it and say it's not a blessing. I have access to things. I have, reach and platform that I never imagined I would ever have. I remember when I was thinking today about when you had another show and you was like, you should come on. I was like, I'll never do TV.
Right.
I'll never.
You they cuss me out.
Yeah, I was like, come on your show, and I start recommending other people. So it's interesting to have this platform. But on the flip side of it, it's like, the amount of hatred and vitriol, and like I've had to move, I've had to move my daughter, I've had to change, I travel with security now. Like it's a weird.
Where's the hate come from, though? Like what?
The hate comes from. The funny part is, I want to have like a troll convention.
I was about to say.
Right?
Yeah, we
So
should.
like,
The underbelly of the
seriously,
internet.
I need to have them all be in a room together so y'all can talk to each other. Because all of y'all think that I'm doing something to the other group, right? So I have like Trump supporters and, whatever, who are like, you're trying to get rid of due process and whatever. It's crazy.
Okay.
Then I have like folks in the Black community who are like, you trying to tear down our legends and all, we trying to step in the name of love and you trying to mess this up. Right, and so I get a lot of that, and then also people who literally don't understand what Me Too is, right?
Can you talk about what it is? Because I keep hearing people say stuff like, don't get Me Too'd to like their friends. And that's like, it makes my blood boil because they make it sound like you're out here trapping people.
This is what I'm saying. If you listen to the people who don't understand what this work is, they think that we have like a hit list, like it's a cauldron of witches somewhere in a basement. Like, we got another one.
Who can we get now?
Our work is really about healing and action.
Yes.
Period.
Yes.
And honestly, if people really had some nuance and could look at it, I've never like targeted anybody. You want to talk about R. Kelly? We can talk about R. Kelly. I do that with pride. Stick out my chest. I don't care. Because our community should say, we don't want predators in our community.
Right.
Yeah.
But other than that, I'm gonna tell you the most hurtful thing to me, and you know this because you know me. This idea that I don't love Black men
Yeah.
is so
gets so
crazy and hurt. I've spent my life dedicated to Black people. I love Black men. I fight as hard for Black men as I do for anybody else. And so this idea that I all of a sudden don't love Black men because I want to protect Black women and girls is so hurtful. And it's also just wrong, right? Our work, we support survivors of sexual violence.
Right.
That's really what our work is about. We're working to end sexual violence, and we're working to make sure people who have experienced it have what they need to heal. Everything else in between, all of this, like, who did this and who did that, I have an opinion on it, yes, but that's not our work.
Right. Yeah.
And that's the part that that's really hurtful and it's confusing. And the work that we're doing now is trying to untangle that for people, so they see this is not really what Me Too is about.
Yeah.
Right.
And so obviously this has become such a big movement, such a big thing that we all care about. But how do Black men how can they really support Black women when they do come out, when they do tell their stories and no one may believe them at first? Like how do you recommend that they can support us a little bit more?
Let me tell you what I say all the time, and this is specifically we need to also know that Me Too is not a woman's movement, right? This is not about women as survivors or women who, this is about men's first role in this movement is as survivors. Black men also deal with sexual violence.
Yeah.
They also deal with sexual harassment. So we should be looking at this as a public health crisis, as a community crisis, as a social justice crisis that we solve together. When women come forward and say this thing has happened, the first thing we have to do is listen.
Yes.
Listen, give people space to tell what their experience is. My lived experience, we could have a situation that happens that you see one way and I see another way, but it doesn't diminish my truth, right? A lot of what happens, people call it a gray area, but a lot of what happens around sexual violence does not rise to the level of crime. right?
Right.
Probably 90% of things that happen are not crimes,
Right.
but they do cause harm,
Right.
right? And we need to focus not on the criminality of it. I have in no way would I want to be a part of something that criminalizes people, black men in particular, but we do have to acknowledge the harm that is caused in so many of these situations. So if men could stop being so defensive about it and hear the truth of what women's experiences are, then it would make for a better, at least a place for dialogue. And when you start dialogue, then you can talk about what solutions look like.
Absolutely. Oh, I love that. Thank you for being so open and helping us see it a little better, because I learned a lot just listening to you. But of course I did, because it's Tarana Burke.
Exactly.
And she's a legend. But speaking
Dropping
of
those gems.
yeah, you're dropping the gems. But speaking of a person who's been dropping some gems lately and just been killing it all around, we have to give props. We got to give a moment to Megan Thee Stallion.
Yes.
She is one of
I'm a fan.
my favorite
I like the music.
artists.
I'm sure.
But and not even just on, there are so many movements for us to get behind these days, including Me Too and including, fighting for our reproductive rights. But she's just a person who owns it all. She's like, I'm college educated, but you best believe I'm a twerk. And I'm going to talk about it, and I'm going to show you how to twerk. But then I'm going to also talk to you about environmentalism and safety and how we can all be
veganism.
You can be all of those things,
vegan.
right?
Like, I live
No,
for her.
she was talking about going vegan in
Okay.
her live.
Yeah, she said something about chicken tenders and
She
what.
saw what they really put in chicken nuggets.
Yeah, that would make enough. That made my daughter go vegetarian.
Yeah.
See, a lot of people are, but I wanted to know, are you a hottie? Do you like the hottie movement? How do you
Okay.
feel about Megan Thee Stallion? And
wanna
girls
know
like
as well.
it.
First of all, I love Megan Thee Stallion.
Me too.
I do.
Hey, Meg.
I didn't notice she called her people hotties. I'm
Yeah.
probably a little more lukewarm than the young folks.
Lukewarmy?
But I can get it. I can get it in. You know what I'm saying? I think one of the things that has been most difficult about this is that people don't know me in a real way. So people approach me all the time like, "Hello, Tarana Burke, how are you?"
Man,
So nice to meet
Queen
you.
Mother.
You know, so and I'm just like,
Why are you doing this?
why are you doing this?
Right.
I was in a situation, right, in one of these Hollywood type of things with some people, and I probably shouldn't even talk about
No,
it.
that's how
We
to
safe
the
space.
Spark Notes.
Safe space.
But the guy was like, they said something vulgar, and they were like, "Oh, I'm so sorry, and I was like,
right.
Yeah.
It's all
I was like, who told y'all that I didn't like sex?
right.
You Queen Mother.
All I said was ask permission.
Right.
Hey.
I might say yes.
Normal thing.
I love that.
You got a 50-50 shot.
Absolutely. How do you deal with that? I feel like a lot of the times, especially as we grow our brands and our, people only see one side of
Oh,
us.
absolutely.
Like, how do you make sure people see you and view you as a whole person? Or how do you continue to be a whole person?
I'm still trying to figure that out, to be quite honest. I used to have a blog, a fashion blog, and some trolley person went and got all these pictures off my blog where I had cleavage showing, and they were like, "How can she be the leader of this movement, dressing scantily clad, blah blah blah?" And I'm like, "Cause my titties is out. It's the summertime. What you want me to do with this?"
And that ain't even against Me Too. Me Too don't say your titties can't be out.
Right.
And say you
Don't
can't
touch
grab them,
them.
right?
I'm just saying,
You
don't
see
touch
them, don't grab them. Like that.
Right.
You know, and so it's difficult to be this person because I want people to talk about body positivity and sex positivity. Right? I
Yes.
believe in those things. I believe in bodily autonomy. It doesn't mean that you can't be sexy. It doesn't mean you can't twerk. I'm pro Megan Thee Stallion.
Exactly.
You should be able to move your body and express yourself. As Black women, we move our bodies so beautifully. We dress our bodies so beautifully. Why would we not want to show that off?
So that's my thing. I don't understand. What do you think is the kickback of women just being able to celebrate themselves? Like, I don't see a problem with Cardi or Megan or the City Girls twerking. Like, they're celebrating themselves, they're doing what they want. But
Exactly.
like, why do you feel like men have such a problem with women expressing themselves like that?
Because this is their own BS, right?
Okay.
Because it's this idea that if you don't put on all your clothes and you're twerking around, you're going to tempt me to want you, right? So your body looks good, so I want to touch
like I
you.
can't stop
So I
myself
can't stop
from-
myself. And men, honestly, should be offended at this.
Yeah.
I think men should be offended at the idea that they don't have self-control, that they're
that's-
animals that can't stop themselves from touching somebody like, "Oh, I got
Right.
a
Me
boobs,"
what
right?
side? Like,
Yeah.
I'm not a caveman.
That's another way that y'all can contribute to the movement. You should stand up and say, "No, we understand what bodily autonomy is." I'm gonna tell you what, when you go into a meeting, men don't ever have to be like, "Listen, look out for John because he likes to touch people's penises, right?
Right.
Don't, no, you don't do that because you know better than to, you maybe in football you slap somebody in the butt, but you don't go into a business meeting like, go ahead, handle it.
Yeah.
So you understand bodily respect when it comes to your own person, just transfer that to us. If you could see women as human beings that have the right and authority to say what happens with our own bodies, then that's why I talk about dignity, right? We need to really have a conversation about human dignity. All women are talking about is that we want to walk through life with our dignity intact.
Yep.
I want to be recognized as a full human being. Men understand dignity because if another man tries to do something to take away your dignity, you're going to respond to that. If a man tries to take away the dignity of your loved one, you're going to respond to that, right? So when I'm telling you, forget about all this other stuff. I need you to respect me and let me have my dignity. I think men can relate to that idea because we're all fighting for that.
You know what I like about Megan too?
No, please.
No. I mean, with regard to dignity and humanity,
Yes.
is the idea of pleasure.
Absolutely.
Because a lot of what her music is about is also talking about her own pleasure and what makes her happy sexually and what gratifies her. And so much of music is about what men want, and so much about everything from music, pop culture, even porn is all about what men want.
Yeah, exactly.
And so I think part of the Me Too movement is also, I think, is helped if we understand women's bodies and, and sex is not an act for men to have pleasure, but it's an act for everyone to have.
Absolutely.
It's about, I'm so glad you brought that up because where we haven't been able to go is talking about pleasure and talking about joy. There's a book, a woman named Adrienne Marie Brown has a book called Pleasure Activism. She's brilliant, by the way. Y'all should get that. I don't know what camera looking, but
we got you.
Right.
It's jotted.
But this idea that that if we would think about sex and sex acts about pleasure, self-pleasure, right? Women don't also always have sex with men. You know what I'm saying? So there's all kind of different ways we should be thinking about pleasure and joy, right? Part of what Megan Thee Stallion and Cardi and these other people give is they bring joy. Let us be free. We have so many things that oppress us and hold us and make us sad. We need places and spaces where we can just be free and just exist and have joy.
I got a place for y'all to have some joy. All right? Idris Elba has a new,
Lots of
he's on BBC.
So funny you say that.
He got a show, Luther, and we got a new exclusive clip. I don't know if y'all saw it yet, but I want y'all to take a look.
Come on, I want to see it.
George.
Something's been niggling at me since we spoke.
Okay, what's that?
Do I look like a tart to you, John? I mean, do I look like I learned my trade noshing off Tory MPs in public labs?
I don't follow. What?
Why would you think you could buy me? Honestly, it's baffling.
George, look, whatever's happening here, all right, just stop, all right? Just pump your brakes, take your tax, and let it go. Otherwise, it's something it's going to get out of control.
Whose control? Not mine. Now, you bring her to me, John, and then we can call it square.
I can't bring her to you. She's gone. I don't know where she's gone, all right?
Which is what I thought you'd most likely say. Hold on.
George, George, I am warning you.
You warning me?
Whatever you're thinking of doing, stop.
You got a pair of spuds on you, I'll give you that.
George.
That woman is the debt you owe me, John. I want her.
Lufa.
George is about that action.
Did we just watch a man get jumped like a car?
Yes,
It's that hardcore stuff.
Too much for me.
But it comes on Sunday at 8. I love watching Idris in these kind of roles, seeing him from Stringer Bell to this, just seeing the range. People don't appreciate how talented he is because he gets objectified so much.
Why are you looking?
Ladies.
Well, me and Jameer ain't objectified.
Yeah.
I don't appreciate it.
I
know he's talented.
he's very talented. He gets good hugs too.
And he smells good.
He does.
Oh.
And,
See what you
happened?
started?
I didn't mean to
but
start
he also
this.
has a really good American accent. Y'all remember when he was in Daddy's Little Girls and we didn't
Stringer
know?
Bell.
I remember The Wire.
In The
That's
Wire,
why.
and we didn't know that. I mean, I didn't know he was British until.
Yeah.
You were 5 minutes ago.
No, I'm just like,
I just pay attention with that.
no, he's rapping. You know, he's a rapper now too.
He is a rapper.
He's multi-talented.
Yeah.
All right.
But he happens to be my second favorite loofah. My first loofah has provided.
Who's the first?
Cranberry, Luther Cranberry, my neighbor. No, it's Vandross. It's not funny.
I was about to be like, don't do that.
One thing we never do in the Black Coffee is make Luther Vandross jokes.
No,
that
it's
cannot
not.
happen.
Luther Ronzoni. all
There you
right?
go,
There we
Luther
go.
Ronzoni Vandross. We
He's
done put you on the wall.
provided a lot of anthems that we love.
Yeah.
And one thing I want to do, because it's starting to get hot, is I want to do a special game of One Gotta Go, dealing with summer anthems. Is that cool with y'all?
I like One's Gotta Go.
Now, Luther ain't in it. I'm just letting you know.
Thank God.
But,
I don't want you to get upset. I don't want you to get
nobody
upset.
wanted you to be upset. So
Never too much. You can go anywhere.
I understand.
saying.
I get it. All right, so we got 4 songs.
Okay.
Before I Let Go by Frankie Beverly and Maze,
Yes.
number 1 is Staple. BBD, Belle Biv DeVoe, Poison. Summertime by Jazzy Jeff and Fresh Prince. And Nice for What by Drake.
Oh.
Where's
Go ahead,
the poker
Tarana.
face? All right, so we'll start with you and let us know.
We don't need a drum roll for Tarana. Damn.
That was just,
She's like,
I gotta go.
Like, those are classics. You know what I'm saying?
And Nice for What is it?
Nice for What? I do love that song.
Okay.
It does. The beat drop is amazing. But if we talking about Forever and Ever, Amen.
Okay.
I'm sorry,
Drake gotta go. All right.
No. I mean, it's
Last
easy.
one in, first one out.
Absolutely, and no offense, if I go to a cookout and you don't play Summertime, it's not a cookout. Like, I don't even know what we're doing here.
Okay.
Drake could put out a hot new song tomorrow, and then we'll have to play that there. So it's just like, the boy is just too hot right now.
Okay.
Like,
That was nice.
That was a very good political answer.
I'm gonna say I'm gonna leave Drake in.
And go with
I'm taking BBD out.
Poison. I knew you were gonna go with Poison.
Backstage, underage, adolescent. No! We didn't know any better back then.
We didn't know any better.
Right.
It was funny because I was thinking Poison for a minute, but just never trust a big button to smile. I'm like, really?
But I strongly disagree with that.
No, little booties do matter.
Okay.
Big booties matter.
Big booties, yeah.
I always trust the
He
big
has
booty is
said.
fine. That part is, but the backstage underage part, you know what I'm saying?
There's so many songs, y'all, that have these little
it's
sneak lines in it that are so
Yeah.
problematic, that it's such a conflict. Oh my God, it's all the time. Like Biggie, and I love Biggie.
Man, oh
Biggie has a song in Dead Wrong.
Yeah, oh my
That line,
God.
Dead Wrong. I remember, I can't even hear Young, Fresh, and Green with no hair in between. I'm like,
Yeah.
Yeah, it was
You got a lot. What's beef? Oh, Biggie got a lot of
Hey,
stuff.
hey,
I'm just saying.
We
I love
know
Biggie.
that I love Biggie.
And I love BBD.
Yeah.
Just
Yeah.
that song I can't in 2019 rock
Yeah,
with.
yeah,
even
you're
at the even at the barbecue.
you're right.
You know what I mean?
You're right.
But haha.
He gonna want up to Me Too later.
Ah,
right?
I just me too you.
Wait, Jameer, what about you? Who gotta go?
I'm going with Frankie Beverly Maze, y'all.
You gotta go.
Oh,
You
oh.
gotta go.
I
yourself.
want to replace them with
BET,
Beyonce.
Black Coffee, we're looking for a new
No.
co-host.
I want to replace them with Beyonce.
Are you, man, don't do this.
I got to.
Wait, you want to do what? Wait, you want to do what with
I
what?
want to
Why are you
replace
doing
them
this
with
the first
Beyonce.
day?
You want to replace Frankie Beverly and
With
me?
Beyonce's version.
Beyonce wouldn't even replace Beyonce.
I know.
with
I
Frankie Beverly
mean,
and
look,
Maze.
y'all, look. I got a preference. I happen to like the New Orleans bounce.
I love it too. Listen, I
And
love that
I'm
new
saying it's a
version.
new generation.
Stop it.
It's
Stop
time.
Stop
We
it.
have handed over the sword
No, there's no.
to Beyonce.
If you're at a cookout, a good DJ
A
will
good.
start
Mix
with
the
Frankie
both of them.
Beverly
Exactly.
and then be like,
that wasn't
Right.
one of the options.
to Beyonce.
That wasn't one of the
So
options.
you getting rid of Frankie Beverly and just on
I'm
record.
tired of the
In
Yankee
this moment
hats.
of Black history, you are leaving Drake on the table and get rid of Frankie Beverly and Maze. That is your position.
I'm tired of the pantsuits and the Yankee fitteds.
Now, see,
I want them to
Wow.
go.
See?
I'm going with Beyonce. I said what I said.
I don't
Black
care if
people.
Uncle Frankie got a whole closet full of white pantsuits and
And he
fake
does.
clothes.
Because he does.
We're not gonna talk shit about Frankie Beverly and
I
Maze
didn't talk
on
anything.
today.
I didn't
Why
talk
did you
shit.
put me in this seat?
I didn't talk shit.
You gotta
Sorry.
switch.
I didn't know this was gonna
I
happen.
did what needed to be done as a people.
No.
I laid down the sword.
It didn't happen.
And I
Just so
wanted
y'all
to
know,
go.
we actually don't know what the choices were beforehand. So I had no idea Jameer would do this. I apologize on behalf of all Black America for what just happened.
I
But
fell on the sword.
Before we go to, we got some
playing.
stuff on social media. People are talking to us on social media. I want to let y'all know. Janelle's on Facebook right now, and she wants to know why mostly men have control over women's reproductive rights.
That's the
That
thing.
is.
Babies, this is
question.
because most of men have control over everything in America, right?
Yeah.
We've never had a woman president. We can go on and on and on. Patriarchy is a mother, right? And so this is unfortunately the way this country is set up, and men have been in positions of power to make these kind of decisions for since the beginning of this country, and you know. Hopefully that'll change soon, but that's really the reason why.
Well, we got one more question. This is for Tarana too. Liz is on YouTube, and she says, Tarana, who are some of your favorite rappers who do you listen to? I want to know.
Yeah,
I want to hear what you're going to say, because I know what you listen to.
Like Too Short?
No.
Okay. I'm just,
My favorite rapper of all time is Jay-Z.
Yeah.
So I'm a Jay fan. I know whatever people. I'm a walking contradiction. Whatever. Jay-Z is my favorite rapper. Gosh.
What's the most ignorant thing on your iPod right now?
Oh my God, Mark. First of all, I don't have an iPod. Let's start
Okay,
with
I'm
that,
old.
man.
I'm like, what's on your Walkman?
Cardi, you know, I listen to a lot of Cardi. I love Cardi, BX.
Hey.
All day.
All day. Sorry.
So Cardi, Jay-Z.
Cardi, Jay. What else? I listen to everything old, right? I'm still listening to Kid Capri mixtapes.
Okay.
You are so New York.
Very New York.
I do.
Yo.
Appreciate it though.
Yo,
Oh, because of the
you're still getting, yes.
I'm
might
It
be-
happened, y'all.
You might be banned from Black Twitter when we get off the
That's
show. Tarana, thank you
crazy.
for coming through.
Thank you so much.
Oh
This
my
was
God.
so much fun.
Oh my God, thank y'all for joining us as
Thank
well.
you.
We will see you tomorrow at 10 a.m. right back here, 10 a.m. Eastern for Black Coffee. Remember, head over to Twitter right now for our after show. Black Coffee, The Refill. Thanks for watching.
Oh.
Peace.
Now here comes Bam.